So now I've added it. Now you and I are on stage. Look at that. Look at that.
Damn. Okay, that's it. Hi, Eric.
Eric. Hey, we can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted, and you can't unmute while we're doing this. So at the end, you'll be able to unmute. But hang out while we do this thing.
Yeah, hey,
All
Steve.
right.
And one of the things is I'll add too is that one of the things Frederick and I talked about was we want to do it in this environment because we love to see everybody's faces if they can get used to that idea, because we can see reactions and we can see things like that. It's much more interactive as opposed to just a chat. So we appreciate the chat. But I want to see, Steven's cat walk around behind him, or, what mug Thomas is using today, or, I mean, just it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for like a mix, like a critique like this, because we can do the critique. And at the end, I just click a button and enable everyone's mics and cameras. And now we're basically in a mixer again, hanging out, with friends and talking about photography. So I love it. You got to love learning.
This is great. See, that whole seminar you went to for 4 days was worth it now that I know I can use that spotlight feature. It's going to make my Wednesday so much less stressful. I don't have to run everything through Ecamm. I am stoked.
One is glad to have been of service. All right, let's do this. View. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Sorry for the rustiness. We'll get tighter with this as it goes on, but I think you guys agree this will be much better.
We will not get tighter. It's just gonna get more ridiculous.
Hey, this is my ship in the bottle, man. I like
it. I'm okay with it.
All right, so let's go into groups. Oh, and by the way, you guys, there's a list of people that are on the waiting list for the Insiders Club. So I'm going to turn that on this week, and you'll get a little video notice about what it's all about. So stand by for that. All that's coming. All right, photo critique. Let's sort by last activity, date created. Okay, so let's share this. Photo critique. Bada boom, bada bing. We're in. Look, and I can see Steven Scharf over there. I feel like I'm hanging out with Steven Scharf.
Yeah. I just remembered I got to send him an IEPPV box.
Oh, goodies. And there's Eric Pronsky. Eric, are you in scrubs? He's in his scrubs. Or is that just a blue shirt? Oh, that's scrubs. Yeah, that's scrubs. He's getting ready for surgery. All right, here we go. So we are inside the photo critique, people. And we're sorting by date created. Last one in is the first one up. First one is Nora Zanotnis, who's in the room. Let's take a look. She says, an update of the earliest American pop that focused on low-cost, forgettable, mass-produced objects like a soup can or a Coke bottle. Love it. Love it. Let's bring that up.
I feel bad that I didn't think of this myself because it's such an obvious subject matter for this year. So I dig it. I like it. And it's very intentional. It's centered. The straps are pushed out just like you would. I like it. I like it a lot.
I do too. This is very iconic. And I was kicking myself too looking at this. I was like, man, on my old man walk, I see at least 10 of these on the ground.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. This is really sort of inspiring me to do a series I've been thinking of is, discarded masks. Because I see them on my walk. Yes, you and I both walk like 6 miles a day. Yep. And I see them everywhere. So I love the pristine look that Nora has here. And, the intentional lighting, the backlighting, so we can kind of see through it and stuff. So it's really nice.
Does it fit into the pop art thing though? I mean, I know it's just the everyday objects, obviously, but were you looking for more of the solarized color pop type thing, or is this
no
in the genre?
No, this is definitely in the genre. I could see this hanging at LACMA, in a room by itself at 8 foot across, and everybody, it's going to either be driven to giggles or tears because it's one of those things that everybody on the planet can relate to. The most relatable subject matter of all time right now.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
I mean,
for
like,
sure. It's the thing that binds us all together right now. We have a common
Yeah.
denominator. It's the mask.
Right.
Exactly, Steve. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'd love to do? Maybe you can edit the critique list, the upcoming critique list, and make masks one of the topics. Creative uses, creative depictions of masks somehow. That'd be interesting.
we could do that on February 22nd is supposed to be open. If we wanted to make that a special subject matter, we could. I have an
Yeah.
idea for that I don't want to reveal publicly yet. I was going to talk to you
Okay.
about it. So
Okay. All right.
it'll
All right.
it'll tie into the idea. It'll tie into the idea.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. All right. Nora Zanotness, thank you for that.
Thank you, Nora.
And thanks for showing up. I see your name in there, Nora Z. All right. Next one up is you, Drains. What the heck is this about?
So I have probably 1,000 of these. I take photos of drains everywhere I go. 90% of these are in bathrooms in restaurants, which is, I know, is just weird. But
Oh, you bringing the camera into a restaurant bathroom?
I bring my phone. But it was this journey and photographic challenge for me to photograph things that we normally ignore, right? And drains are one of those things that exist everywhere, different shapes, different colors that we ignore. And so I was looking for a subject matter, and I was scrolling through my catalog, and I came across this, and all the thumbnails popped up on the screen. I went, oh my God, I just did a screenshot and put a crappy border on it with my iPad because my laptop's not here. And that's it. So
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this was intentional, not intentional. That's cool.
yeah, and the other cool thing about photographing the drains is I can go and look at the location data on my phone. I can tell you where every one of those are if I can't remember, and they're all over Hawaii, all over the United States, up into Canada. They're everywhere. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the artist trying to say about this? Are you trying to talk about the futility of life and how eventually it's all going down the drain anyway, so why even do anything?
You can pour into whatever you want. I looked down and went,
Literally.
yeah. I looked down at the ground and said, "Oh, drains are cool." That was as much philosophy as I poured into my images.
Okay, you need to step it up in the next drain series you do. I want to see drains with hair in them, you know?
No. Notice there's feet in one of them.
Yeah, I see that. What's up with that? Is that you? Is that your feet? They better be.
No, that's Kira's feet.
Oh, it's Kira.
It's Kira's
Okay.
feet. It's outside somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Kira takes pictures of her feet.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Cool shot. And this was edited on the phone?
On the iPad, in Affinity
Okay.
Photo. I had to send my laptop into Apple, so I don't have a laptop to edit on. So
Your brand new laptop is in disrepair? Like, what's going on?
yeah, it's on its way. Yeah, it needed some love. It had some goobers under the screen, and the trackpad isn't functioning as well. So
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
you want me to let people in if I see them? I don't want to do your
Yes.
job.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I didn't see him. Oh, you know why I didn't? Oh, man, crap. Okay, so there's
That's okay.
another
I can
learning.
do it. Yeah, it's easy.
I turned off the entry sound notification. Normally I use that as my somebody's waiting in the waiting room thing.
No, that's fine. While you're running the share, I can see the participants window easy. So
Sweet.
easy. And I can kick you out too, whoever, just in case.
Yeah, you can. You have the power. Use it wisely.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Armando. He says, "This is my daughter for the this week photo critique pop art." All right,
It's really fun.
here we go. What do you think of this? This is fun. This looks like I was looking at the edges, and this looks like not the photo itself, but just the border treatment and the colors. This looks very like kid-like, like art project-y.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bubbly, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I, this is just me. You guys have heard it so many times, but like, why isn't it centered horizontally, right? So in the pop art category, I'm wondering, Armando, if you did this intentionally to kind of, be odd with the framing, or was this something that you didn't see as you were making it? My intention would have been to throw that thing, try to get it dead center horizontally, or really intentionally twist it and take it out. But I love the color harmony. I love her expression, the eyes, the color of the background. I mean, it is pop art. It is really fun. It is really fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing that threw me, like you said, was I'd want her centered because everything else is kind of symmetrical except for her off to the side, and I don't see a reason why she's off to the side. It's not obvious. Like there's something in the background that he's trying to, weight to the right with. So I would have loved to have seen her in the middle.
Yeah, and I think across the bottom, I don't think he needed to soften the line at the bottom, underneath where her neck is. I don't think he needed to do that. I think that just make it a clean cut like the rest of it. Even so much so, just have her head floating in there. You don't need her neck.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we don't need that anchor. We don't need that. It's not a portrait. It's it's an artistic representation. Yeah, just let her head float around in there. I think it's cool.
Yeah, very cool. This is fun. Good topic, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad I picked it. Oh, I love it. All right, next up, and I didn't pick it. Troy picked it.
They know.
Next up is Eric, who's in the car driving. Stop looking at us, Eric. Look at the road. 10-2, Doc. Come on. Eric says, wife smile. Oh, there's Joshua. Wife smile. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Sony A7R4 with Sigma 105 macro. Okay, cool. Let's bring this up.
Yeah, this is fun. This is
so much better than doing it on Ecamm. This is so much better.
Yeah. This is really fun. Look, more disembodied bodies, body parts. Yeah, this is really cool. I think that after having seen Armando's, I would love to see this with a little bit more gregarious border treatment, right? But I love it. I could see this hanging in this series, in a gallery somewhere or on somebody's wall in a hotel when we used to go to those. I love it. Yeah.
Or do you remember there was I forget who did it. It's just sort of images in my brain. There was a portrait that was just comprised I remember the installation it was a bunch of frames on a wall with different parts of the face in different frames. A frame for left eye, right eye, nose, mouth, ears. But, if you stood back, you could see how they all actually went together and formed a person. Yeah. But they were individual works of art on their own. I thought that was really cool.
So when I see shots like this, I always wonder, did he sneakily take this out of another portrait? Or did he go up to her and go, honey, I have this project. I want to take a picture of your mouth.
I don't know, Eric. I'm going to go stealth because I would not, Nicole would not give me the model release in order to post a shot like that. That would be a hard no.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Margie would let me do it either. But I love it. I think it's very creative, and it's certainly, it helps us to step out of our normal box of what we're photographing, and this is one of those things, right?
Is it pop art though? Is it pop art?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's definitely pop art. And I think this is the kind of thing that I would like to see more of, in the pop art category, as opposed to just mimicking, what Andy Warhol did or what somebody else did, right? With I want to see more of that. I like that. That's definitely within that category, but I think it deserves to have some of these kind of things in it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because the mimicking Andy Warhol, yeah, I could see that. You looking at his work and then being inspired by it and then creating your own. But for if you're new to this genre, as we all are, right? You're new to this genre and this type of photography. I think the comfort thing is to go for the familiar first, right? Oh, I know that this fits into pop art, so I'm going to do it like this. And then as you get more familiar with the genre, do the, color outside the lines a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of learn the rules, learn what that category is, and then ignore those rules and then go do whatever you want. That ties into that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
For sure. Cool shot. All right, Eric Pronsky. Thank you. 10 and 2, man. 10 and 2.
Maybe he has a Tesla.
Oh yeah, he's like Craig, just driving illegally with a
Tesla or like a new Acura. Like there's a bunch of cars that just drive themselves. So
I know, and they can't get here soon enough because as I get older, I'm gonna need that. My old plan was when I get old, I'm gonna have a driver. I'm gonna be rich enough to have. I'm gonna have a Jeeves or a Jarvis taking me around. Now I can have a digital Jarvis, so it's all good.
Did you see that GM announced that they're gonna be fully electric by I think it was 2035?
Really?
Yeah, like 20 years. That's and if we think about that. Between now and 2035, that's not enough time to invent and mass produce new technology for the most part. So they've got to have some stuff figured out already to think they can do that. Maybe, or they're just,
trying to appease shareholders by.
I'm going to drive my smoking diesel right to the end.
You are. I know you are. You're going to be that guy. You're going to be that neighbor. At 7 a.m. Sunday morning, starting up as a Hemi, right?
Hey, when everybody else's stuff is stuck in the mud, I'll come get them out. As long as I can still buy diesel fuel.
Good luck with that. All right. Well, cool. Eric, thank you for that. Thank you for that shot.
Thanks, Eric.
Next up is Mark Harris. Mark says, pop art snowman, not strictly pop art, but certainly inspired by that movement. A portrait of our inflatable snowman with the one at our neighbor's house in the background. All right.
Oh, nice.
Snowman getting photobombed. Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
This is a California snowman right here because we don't have snow. So this is the closest we can get to
right.
snowman.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm curious what you think about this because pop art, cool shot, but is it pop art? Does it fit in?
I'm not the pop art police.
Yes, you are. This is your critique. Don't try to distance yourself. Suddenly, you're not the police.
Yeah. So I'm kind of saying no. Like I don't feel that it fits into that category for me as much. I think that with pop art, you want to manipulate a little bit past just an in-camera shot. And I think that if this was sort of duotoned or screen printed or something like that, I feel it would have been a much stronger representation of the pop art category. I love the shot. It's very timeless and it's fun. But I don't know. I wonder. What are your thoughts?
I want to see, who is it? Michael Kautz. Michael Kautz is doing all those flaming images lately. I want to see a snowman on fire, solarized, and then. So in other words, I would do some crazy stuff to a shot like this. This is already cool. I love shallow depth of field, especially now that I'm in love with that 85 millimeter 1.8 I've been playing with.
Yeah.
But I'd want to see something else on here to make it more pop arty.
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah, that's it. But cool shot though.
I agree. Yeah, I love the shot, and there's a lot to work with here. So if Mark wants to take it even further, like tweak it, there's a lot you can do with it.
Right. Light it on fire.
Light it on fire.
That's it. Right? I'm telling you.
Yes. Fill it with propane.
I was just gonna say
then
that.
Light it on fire.
Fill it with propane, cover it in shaving cream, and then light it on fire and shoot it with a high-speed
incendiary round.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
We've gotten really off topic.
Yes, we did. All right. Thank you, sir. Moving right along. Lamb is up next. And Lamb says, in the lunar calendar, the Chinese New Year falls on February 12th, marking the beginning of the year of the ox. This is why the ox has been chosen for submission. Okay, cool.
Now, when I saw this image, I had to wonder, how do I know the difference between an ox and a cow? I've never had to distinguish the two, so
I don't know either.
I don't know. And lower down in his reply, he shows the image, that of what it is like off of a dairy stand or something. So it's confusing me between ox
Oh,
and
right.
cow, or maybe he's just playing towards that. I love the image. I think it's really fun pop art, and I like the fact that it's all in black and white. That he went in that direction. He could have changed the green to some bright yellow or orange, and that would have been immediately pop arty.
Hmm.
But I think that it's fun the way that it is.
Yeah, I think I want to see. I don't know. Maybe it's just that the cliche of pop art that my brain keeps going to. But I saw this shot and just sort of the solarization of it, and the illustrative nature of it, and I'm thinking, man, I want to see four different colored cows in a grid. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, it would work because maybe the subject matter itself isn't super interesting by itself, but when you can take something like that and you can put it into a grid, now you've literally created different subject matter from each image that's the same, right? And so
yeah,
so that's kind of the direction for pop art as well. Is really expressing the personalities of your subject matter in multiple different ways.
love it. Very cool.
I do.
Very
I like it.
cool. All right. Thank you, Lamb. Kuala Lumpur. One day.
One day.
James Glenny's up next. James says, self-portrait. I think I'm going to print this and hang it in our guest bedroom. Yeah. There you go. What the heck is happening right here? This looks like a scene out of Repo Man or
Yeah.
I don't know, RoboCop 1 when
Solarized and green. This is our nuclear future. This is
Yeah.
where we're going to be if we don't get our stuff under control.
Yeah, these are the masks they will be issuing to every person when you renew your driver's license.
Oh, and Steven answered us. Ox is a castrated male cow. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
really?
There we go.
Okay.
I love it. It's like having our own personal encyclopedia right there. Steven just answers our thoughts. We think them, and there's answers.
I love it. I love
Better
it.
than Siri.
Steven, never go away.
Yeah, thank you, Steven.
That is crazy. I had no idea. Really? Did you know that where donkeys come from? What's a donkey?
It's like a
Steven.
neutered
Nope.
mule or a mule that's a neutered donkey.
Close, but it's neutered by nature, right? So, all right, Steven, you tell me if I'm right. A donkey is when a horse and another donkey get down. that's the offspring, and the offspring are sterile, right? They can't.
Why are
reproduce?
you assuming that Steven knows this? This is
Because he just
very
thumbs up me.
fringe
He just
information.
validated me. Because Nicole and I had an argument about this once, like where donkeys come from. I think it was in the context of watching Shrek. It's like, can donkey reproduce? No, donkey cannot reproduce.
God.
So, all right, back to the shot. Back
to the shot. Sorry, James.
Yep.
James
So
is he's in the chat.
Is James
too.
in? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. Good.
I love the shot. I think that it's incredibly well done. I love the expression. Again, this is one of those really, really timeless portraits that I think for decades we'll always look at this and we'll always think of COVID. And so the coloring is really fun. The colorization is great. The expression on his face is great. The fact that the pupils are black and white, I do dig that because it kind of stands out from the color. So this is definitely one of my favorite images, and I think that it's scary, and I really
intentionally, obviously,
yeah. I mean, if I have to, I'll kick into the fun to print this nice and big to hang in the guest bedroom because I want to see that happen. Yeah,
I want to see it big too. James, you got to do it now. You got to print it. You got to print it big, and we need a photo of a guest in that room with the photo looming over them.
Yeah, so, with a plate of macaroons on the nightstand.
There you go. There you go. Cool shot, though. I love
it.
I love the variety of interpretations of pop art is awesome. I love this.
Yeah, I will tell you, when I picked this topic, initially I thought, ooh, I'm not quite sure what pop art is. This is going to be really tough. And then I thought, no, our community is amazingly creative, and they'll figure it out. And
Yep.
this has definitely been fun.
Yep. Very much so. All right. Who's next? Steven Scharf. Everyone is doing Andy Warhol based pop art, so I thought I'd change things up a bit. Carlos Santana, The Mission, The City. All right. I almost hears music. When I see this, I hear Santana music in the background.
Yeah, yeah. I have a bunch of his tabs in my guitar folder that someday I'll play like the simplest of one. Because it's good. It's good.
Yep.
This is really great. I think one of the things that I really love about this shot is the sidewalk. And I know that that's a minor part of the image, but it plays a huge part into the image itself, because if you just photograph the wall, you're not really telling me anything about the context that this image is in, right? But by including that sidewalk, I really feel drawn into where this is. And I'm very happy the balance that is in this image. It makes me happy. The lights at the top are pretty much exactly the same. The horizontal lines are right where they need to be, which is what Steven is very good at, very intentional. The black and white conversion is solid. And I think it's a fun interpretation of pop art, like Steven said, going a little bit different direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Steven, you're always meticulously intentional in your work. And, whether it's landscape or motorsports or architectural or even this kind of street photography, it's very, we can feel the intentionality and the symmetry and all that stuff. And it's coming through loud and clear here. So well done. Bravo. What I'd want to see in here, which has nothing to do with the merits of the photo on its own, what my brain is wanting to see is something for scale. Like I want to see like a person on that sidewalk walking through one of those voids of black or something, so that I instantly know scale. Oh, this is a huge mural, and there's a person. Maybe if it's just a shadow or like a long exposure blur of a figure walking through the scene. So you're like, oh, there's a human. Oh, that's huge. So I get it. Versus when you look at it now, you don't know until you start looking at the clues of the graffiti on the sidewalk. You don't really know the scale.
Right.
So that's all.
And yeah, and as I didn't mention it until you mentioned it. It kind of came to mind, was that this is a place that I would go back and probably photograph a lot. I mean, this is a very creative spot. You're going to get all kinds of humans coming through there, probably debris on the sidewalk at some point. And it reminds me of Ansel Adams photographing Half Dome and El Capitan. Like, he went back year after year after year after year until he got that perfect shot. So when you find a scene that you love, don't just give up on it, right? Like, go back, different weather, rain, different environments. And this is one of those things. Like, this is great. And what an homage to Carlos. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see a musician with an old acoustic guitar walking through the scene.
So Steven has a nylon string acoustic that he's learning. Maybe someday we can photograph him in front of
Steven, you got to do self-portrait. Go grab your tripod, go redo the shot, and walk in there. Self-timer, do it. You can do it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, cool shot, Steven. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, bravo.
But look at these lights at the top. Look at the intentionality of this. Look at the lights. The crop is exactly or pretty close on both sides at the top of there on those lights. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Steven Scharf. Next up is Craig Stampley. Happy little Vegemites. The obvious masking errors are intentional.
The obvious masking errors are intentional.
And by putting that in there, now we got to look for the masking errors.
I saw some things, but yeah, all right. So he just let him clip, is what he did. Yeah, like the top.
You're talking about like this down, like the bottom of that top left Vegemite. Can you see my mouse on the screen? You can't see my mouse, can you? Oh, you can? Okay, good.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
But you know what we can do now? Since we're in Zoom, we could actually annotate, I believe, and do things like this.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's clever. That's clever.
Yeah.
Why they should not give you those tools. Frederick does not need those tools.
I know. I can't be trusted.
You're gonna be drawing mustaches on Carlos Santana.
Yeah. So
this is
clearly pop art. But what do you think? What do you think of the execution?
I think it's great. I think this is one of those kind of things that one very clearly speaks to a demographic, right? It speaks to an area on the planet, so it kind of dials us in. And we know that this is very clearly an homage to what Andy Warhol has done in the past, right? So it's really sort of an homage to that type of style. And so it's just as valid as art as anything else that's trying to not duplicate that. Mm-hmm. And I love it. And I think it's very Craig. I think it fits Craig's patriotism of Australia, and I think it's really fun. So
the most important question here, though, Troy, is do you like Vegemite?
No.
He's just insulted an entire continent.
I did not. I also do not like avocados. And I do not like mayonnaise or tomatoes.
Weird.
I don't like Vegemite. I tried it. And yes, for those of you who are wondering, yes, I tried it appropriately. I tried the right amount. I've got Peter Levshin from Australia. He walked me through the whole process. It's a flavor that I don't enjoy.
What's the flavor, though? What is the flavor?
It's
like, what does it remind you of?
It's kind of salty. Kind of reminds me of like just a weak bacon fat or something. It's weird. It's an odd salty saline type of flavor that I just didn't enjoy it.
Your taste buds might be compromised somehow. Maybe all that whiskey or something.
No. I have a sophisticated palate, and greasy, oily vegetables do not fit into that, or fruit.
I don't know. That sophisticated palate thing. That's the same thing Jeffrey Dahmer said. So I don't know. All right. Well, cool. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool
I do
shot,
love
though. This one should be printed big too, right? Does this feel like it wants to be big on a wall, just sort of looming?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think this one I would love to see a border around it to kind of hold it together.
Mm.
You know, if you were going to print this and hang this, you would probably put it in a frame with a mat or something. I think that it would look good digitally if you're going to present it digitally. Is that you put a border on it. Nothing heavy, but something just to kind of contain it, right? Keep it all inside there.
Yep. Keep all those jars in their place.
Thanks, Aaron. He says border. I didn't see that coming.
Exactly.
I haven't commented on the borders the whole time.
Troy has certain notes he likes to hit. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Printed on metal, it doesn't need a border, but digitally, that's why I said digitally, it needs a border.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, Craig Stampley. Let's get out of this annotation tool. All right. Next up is Karen Sweeney. Took a lot longer than 15 minutes. Pop art channeling you know who. Yes, we know who.
Yeah. Good subject matter. I like that. Yeah, D500.
Yeah.
That's what she uses for her bird hunting. This is fun. This is a really fun idea as well. You know, obviously channeling Andy Warhol and taking the time to do that. Doing pop art has certainly been a dive into how to use Photoshop, right? Or Affinity Photo, and how to grab channels and how to flip colors and how to use solarize. Like, that's not something we do on a normal basis if you're a wedding photographer. You know, I don't normally flip colors and things like that. So this is really fun. And I think the border, you know, separating all the images and stuff is really appropriate. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I like the, let me do my thing here. I like what she did here with, oh, there you go. I can draw. Yeah.
You're drawing on that.
Yeah. So you see these LCDs right here?
Oh my gosh. Graffiti. That's graffiti.
But I could delete it though. The intentional, being intentional about the LCD on the top of the screen and making sure that those colors are complementary to the background colors. It's really cool. And look at the highlights down here. See these highlights that she's put in there? All that's on purpose. All that. Yeah. And that's the highlights that's filling in on the whole thing. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah. I think that, you know, and Schulman said he would like to have seen 9 squares. I do think that if you take something like this and you make it 9 or 20 or 30 squares, right? And then that way you don't, from a distance, all you see are this sort of color palette. But as you get closer, then you realize what's inside. And I love that. I really love that. I think that's such a great idea where you have sort of this mystery, this surprise in the image.
Yeah. Like it. Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
You see this in the lobby at Nikon headquarters.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You never know.
Although at Nikon headquarters, it would be Nikon headquarters.
Right. And it would be, as Thomas pointed out, it would be a Z7 Mark II or a Z7. Because
I would argue that they're proud of all their bodies. Each one of these bodies has its own blood, sweat, and tears poured into it. So.
Yeah.
Because the engineers looking at this would be like, oh, you remember that one? We had so much trouble getting the so-and-so thing to work right. And they never even knew.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Karen Sweeney, thank you. Next up, Amy Brooks, Stray Cat Strut.
I gotta say, of all the amazing images that we've seen thus far, this is definitely one of my favorites. I think this should be the new TWiP mascot image.
I love it. Yeah. You know, when I saw this image, you know what I thought? I was thinking, is this the cat? Is this the one that escaped and then was subsequently found? And was this the look on the cat when it finally got found? Like,
yeah.
Thought I got away. No, this is cool. So what do you think?
I think this really encompasses pop art really, really well in that, you know, one, the cat is sort of askew in the frame. We've got these nice bright, bold colors. The background colors really offsetting the silhouette of the cat. You know, the eyes are definitely intense, kind of drawing us in. You know, this is great. This is a perfect rendition of this topic.
Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. I like it. And the expression is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, Stray Cat Strut was the title of that pop song.
Yeah. What was it? What was the name of that group? Was the group Stray Cats? It was the Stray Cats, right?
Yeah, what was the lead guitarist's what was his name? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember. I could see his face, but I can't remember because they had that whole like 50s kind of sound.
Brian Setzer. Yes. That guy is an amazing guitar player. Amazing. Yeah, very underappreciated guitar player. Sorry, Amy, we got distracted. Love your image, though. I love it. Definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, well done.
Very good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Michael DeRay's up next. He says, what did he say? Oh, that's all he said. He said, beach kites pop art. I use the art filter bracketing on my Olympus EM5 to get a base, then finished with Affinity Photo and Photolab 4. I'm not familiar with Photolab 4.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's a fun shot, though. I like the composition of this. Yeah, I think this is good. I hesitate whether or not we needed that top left frame or not. I think that just 2 maybe would have been stronger, only because they feel so tight in the frame and it's kind of duplicating what's in the frame below it. If it was completely unique, I would have loved that. Maybe just crop out. I guess they do look kind of unique, but I feel like it's duplicating the one below it. I love the colors, though. I don't know that I could look at these colors in my house for a long time. You know, that green, but
yeah,
it's definitely good harmony in here.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, this topic, and a lot of our topics are, what's the best way to articulate it? You know, we talk a lot about story and using the tools and the pixels to tell a particular story. And then when we overlay it something as graphical as a pop art topic, where is that line between telling a story and using the tools and the technique and the art form, in this case pop art, to tell a particular story? Or does it become all about the technique? Like, hey, look at this pop art I did. Or, hey, pop art, that styling was the best tool to tell this particular story. You know what I mean? Does it?
I think pop art really is about a way of viewing your subject matter in sort of a different context. And so I don't think there's any right way or wrong way to do that. I always think, though, that no matter how you create an image or put an image together, there are certain things that our brains are going to be happy with. And that's composition and, flow and focus and direction of light. Like in the lower left frame, the bottom right kite is touching the lower right edge of the frame. Those kind of things, you can be intentional with and remove them regardless of the topic of art that you're in.
What would you have done here? Would you have shortened the tails?
Yeah. Or I probably just would have cloned off that little edge just so that they didn't touch. Right yeah, just a little bit.
Yep, those edges are magnetic, man.
Yeah, draws you right out that frame, and then you're lost in the gutter.
Yep. It's hard to get back in. Very cool. All right, let's close out of that. Thank you, Michael DeRay. Is this right? So this is 16 hours ago. Yeah. No. When did he submit this? A week ago. So we're at the end-ish year. I don't remember seeing this. Sony Abstract. This is not pop art.
No, he's not even in the. No, I have no idea what he did.
It's like, what is this? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks like a chair. It looks like a chair in a cell or something. Like that cell from God, what was that? What was that movie with the Hannibal Lecter? Come on, what's the movie? How come I can't think of the name of it?
I don't know.
Hannibal Lecter, the cannibal, in there.
Steven's typing the answer right now.
Steven knows the answer. So,
look, I told you.
Yes.
I told you. It's coming up. I can see him typing.
Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You look at this is that one scene with Buffalo Bill when the woman was in the pit and he said it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. This looks like that downward view of that scene with the person sitting at the bottom of the pit but she didn't have a stool.
I haven't seen that movie, and I have no intention of ever seeing that movie. So.
You probably don't want to see that movie. That is not a Troy Miller movie. It has absolutely no apocalyptic science fiction in it.
No. So it's a cool shot. I love Peter's rediscovering some of his older images, and I think that it really is fun. Not pop art so much, but definitely nice abstract.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, Peter. Next time, Peter, pay attention to the subject.
Yeah. I think Brian did the same thing. I think he
Brian, Pentax 645Z. Well, Brian's saving lives out there, so we could give him a pass. Let's bring this one up. All right, here we go. Let's look at this one real quick. Clearly not pop art, but
no, it's a really cool shot, and I think this is a good example of using focus and atmospheric effects to give us a sense of depth in an image, right? Because those birds in the foreground are in focus, the background is out of focus or softer, and then of course you got this nice atmosphere that creates depth in there too, and it's very easy for us to kind of get lost in this image. It draws us in.
Yeah,
a nice border would help, but
And there he goes back to that same chord again.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there for Thomas. I just said that for Thomas.
There you go. Yeah, I like this too. This is fun. This is a very mysterious shot. It's not. I mean, my brain goes to like story. What's the story of this? The ducks are the story. I'm assuming those are ducks. Yeah, the ducks are the story. But it could also be part of a larger narrative about Sleepy Hollow or something creepy like that. It's very kind of mysterious, misty, and a little threatening, with that background.
Right. No, it's very cool. It's very cool. And I just want to point out that that's a 600 millimeter on a Pentax 645, which means that is a monster lens.
So that means he was like 12 miles away when he shot this.
Yeah, because the 645 is a medium format film camera. So
yeah. Very cool. All right, I think that's the end of the road. Yeah, that's the end of the road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop my screen share here. So what do you think?
There's two, and I can't choose between them. So you have to choose. You get to pick.
Can I guess what the two are?
Yes.
I think one is Amy Brooks,
Yep.
and the other Steven Sharf. I don't know.
Nora.
Oh, the first one, Nora. Okay.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Nora's. I love them both. I think that as far as like timelessness, the Nora's is very, very simple. I think that as far as like the community goes, a lot of us have, there's always cats on screen. Like Steven just has a cat up there.
We saw
and
that
I
cat,
love-
Steven.
I love the stray cat Strut image, and I love the attitude and personality in that. And I'm really torn between the two. So,
Yeah. Oh, that is tough. Yeah, they're both timely. Like you said, the Nora one is timely globally, and the cat is timely for just our little family here. So
yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I would probably choose Amy's, just because of the additional bold color and the abstract nature, the twist of the cat and that format. I would. It feels more pop artish in the traditional sense. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. If I'm the tiebreaker, I like them both. Stevens was great too. Craig's was great. There's a lot of great images in here, but pop art wise, I think this one, maybe because I love cats so much, but
No, it's good pop art.
I like the expression on this cat. I like, and this is definitely in line with pop art. Not that, this particular interpretation of pop art isn't the end all be all, the Andy Warhol type style.
Right, right.
But I do like this one a lot.
Right. And Thomas Aaron said it's not a dog. Well, Thomas, you could have entered a pop art dog.
That's right.
And it may have won. We're not being biased. We don't have a pop art dog in here. So.
Yeah. I mean, we can't help it that dogs just aren't that cool, Thomas.
Oh. Thomas
well,
just reached for his pistol. Just out of natural, he flinched and he reached for.
It's all right. I'm just saying. Thomas is biology, man. It's biology. Cats DNA is basically the same as it was at the start. Dogs, although smart because they domesticated themselves in order to get free food, they're not wolves anymore. I'm just saying. He knows the story. Dogs are great. Yeah, I love animals. We had a whole discussion yesterday about whether we should get Cameron a hamster or not. Apparently, some people around here don't like rodents, So I like rodents. Rodents are cool.
Rodents are great in a cage.
Yeah, cats love rodents.
Not running free. Yeah.
And making
hamsters
babies.
are cool. I had hamsters when I was a kid. I had a hamster. I could carry him in my pocket. He'd walk around with me until my cat reached through the cage.
Oh. And that was it.
And broke my hamster.
Oh.
He broke my hamster. Yeah.
I never had a hamster. I had guinea pigs and gerbils. And the guinea pig I had I think he had some sort of mental issue, because all night he would be in that cage, and we had a big cage for him. I took care of him meticulously, but he would just be in there screaming all night, every night. So I literally had to keep a pile of socks next to the bed to throw.
You know what? The new popular pet is hedgehogs.
Really, they are cute. Really,
they are cute, and you got to get them like this special dust or something that's how they bathe, and they roll in this dust or something. Yeah, I've never had one. I don't know.
It doesn't sound like the pet for somebody who likes a clean household. I'm just saying.
Get her a bobblehead. That's a great pet. Bobbleheads are great.
Yeah, well, I got one. There's one back there. Right there.
Yeah, see, you just need a bobblehead.
Yeah, that's a Black Panther bobblehead. All right, so what's our topic for next week?
Musical instrument.
Musical instrument. All right, folks in the room, in the chat, sound off on what you think of this format. Like doing it in Zoom versus streaming live to YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or other. Are you digging just doing it in our traditional Zoom format, or would you rather it be on another platform? Steven says, this is great. Good. I agree. This is really cool.
Yeah, and we've even kicked around the idea of unmuting everybody at the end, and we could just have a nice little chat for like.
Let me
10
do that
minutes.
right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys can now unmute yourselves if you want to. And I am going to. I'm still recording, by the way, and I'm going to release our spotlight so that now we are in just a regular Zoom
Hangout.
Look at that! Boom!
Dogs are not worse than cats.
You were waiting to say that.
I think that Tom's right on that. I saw some figure recently about the number of birds killed in North America per year, and domestic house cats kill 3 to 4 billion birds a year in North America alone. It's not like wild.
It's Darwinism, man. If that bird can't get off the ground,
it's not wild, cats like mountain lions or bobcats or lynx or other. It's just
birds. Those birds that get murdered by cats have to be dumb, right? I'm just saying, because if you have command of 3 dimensions and the thing that killed you can only move in 2 dimensions, you deserve to get got.
No. My cat can move in 3 dimensions. That sucker can jump straight up in the air 4 feet. I've seen him pull birds out of the air. Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Well, those are birds that are flying way too low. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's Darwinism. That bird was not meant to exist and reproduce, right?
No, he was not. Well, cool. So musical instrument. So this could be anything again, right?
Yes, it could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's
be a Bosendorfer Grand.
Right. So musical instrument. So this, just to put a fine point on it, Troy Miller. So this has to be something that people let's not say people, that can be used to create a form of music.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Like a Ferrari V12.
Yeah. So not a turntable. Can be a turntable. Is a turntable a musical instrument? No. It's okay. Cool. Just making sure.
Well, although somebody who does scratching and stuff like that, they may disagree because technically,
That's right. So, that is right.
I don't want to see any photos of Home Depot buckets though. That's unless you can actually play it.
People, street performers.
How about a didgeridoo?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of guitar photos.
There is.
Yeah. I know Thomas can play. I know James has a guitar. Steven, I don't know about.
You guys got to get together and do some sort of like a guitar ensemble on Zoom. Can't you do that?
I have to start my lessons, but I do have a guitar. So
I don't know how. I think the delay would kill us.
I think if they haven't introduced yet, they're about to introduce a high quality audio feature with low latency for Zoom performances like that.
Oh, cool.
So so it's supposed to, I don't know what the restrictions
are. A lot
are.
of ensemble choirs and orchestras on Zoom, and they're really, really well done.
And they're in sync, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there was. I'll see if I can find the link to it. There was a wonderful one I posted about it, I think, right around Christmas time. But there was a bunch of medical. Nora, you may have seen this as well. There was a bunch of medical professionals that were playing with the concertmaster for the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields. He's a famous violinist, Joshua Bell, and they were playing Vivaldi's Four Seasons all together, and then they cut it together so you could hear the individual musicians play for a bit and then the ensemble play. It was really amazing, amazing performances, and it was great to see these very talented, committed medical professionals that were also virtuoso musicians as well. It was pretty cool. I'll put up a link to it.
Yeah, please do. Please do. It's interesting what people are doing on Zoom. There's in that virtual event seminar thing I went to, they were talking about, there's people from all areas of virtual events in there kind of sharing their experiences, and there are people in there that are doing for pay comedy shows, magic shows, In the event I went to, they had a mixologist on stage mixing drinks. You know, it was just like, you know, it's interesting how far you can push the virtual side of it, but then it's interesting from the standpoint of at a certain point, everyone gets the feeling of, man, I wish we were together. This is great. The electricity is awesome, but I really wish, you know, we were just in the same spot, hanging out, you know, toasting each other. So I think the virtual side is here to stay. But Troy, I think you're right that the physical side is irreplaceable. You know, just that human to human interaction stuff. So
well, one of the things that I've really come to realize, and it wasn't obvious at first, is like hangouts like this and conversations are great, but it's usually one person, like what I'm doing now, talking to many. But if we were sitting around a table, you know, Thomas could lean over to Steven and they could have a side little conversation. And so that is what we kind of are missing. The chat doesn't make up for that. You know? No. So
yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I want to show you guys something offbeat if I can, just super quick. I'm just going to share my screen here. So you guys are talking about hedgehogs. And of course, there's a cartoon character called Sonic the Hedgehog. There's also a gene called Sonic Hedgehog, believe it or not. That's what the gene looks like. This is the mouse Sonic Hedgehog gene protein. And I'll stop sharing here. It's really important. That gene's very important when cells go from embryos to differentiated creatures, whatever they might be. That gene plays a key role, and it's called Sonic Hedgehog. Interestingly enough.
Yeah. Why not? Fun stuff. All right. Well, cool. Well, I have to drop off and jump into another Monday meeting.
Oh yeah. So, and I have to answer this call.
Yeah. So we're good. I think this was a success.
Hello, this is Troy.
I think we'll continue doing this. Troy, you can mute yourself if you want. We don't want to hear.
I like this.
Oh, he's muted. Yeah, you like it, Nora? Cool. Yeah. We'll continue doing this. It's easier. It's seamless, and we can all pop in. I think that was a missing component of the previous critiques of, you know, Troy and I in a vacuum talking, and then, you know, maybe getting some feedback on stuff or allowing people to chime in. I think that to make it more communal, this is perfect, right? Because now we can rant. And the cool thing about Zoom is it's no longer kind of tied to the proprietary software stack that I was using to do the event. So now I can host a critique, or one of you can host a critique or be a guest, or we can have multiple people in here talking about, you know, images. We could do a room of up to 6 people simultaneously spotlit on stage talking about images. Whereas before I could do it, but on the back end, there was a lot of points of failure, let's call it. So this is much easier.
Oh,
all right, folks. Cool. So we will end this one, and I'll be in touch, and I'll see you guys on Friday for sure, right? Everybody here? So, okay. All right. We'll see you Friday at 6, and keep an eye out for a note from me on just sort of the changes to the community. If you haven't been invited into that Insiders Club, it's kind of a founders club. You will be invited into that, and I will explain in a video as to what's going on and some of the changes that are coming down the line.
When is that happening?
Probably no later than Wednesday. So that'll flip on.
So if we don't get that invite, we'll ping you, Frederick.
Yeah, and I'm around, right? So you could just say, you know, hey, I need to get in there, and I'll let you in. So not a big deal.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you so much,
folks.
guys.
Yep. See you guys next time. Thanks for coming.